Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tank Mechanic Simulator. So, today I figured we'd do something a little bit different. I picked this up on Steam, it was on sale, so we gotta give it a run and see how it's like. I'd imagine it's something kind of like House Flipper or PC Building Simulator, I think it was called. Alrighty then. I have played this a little bit, so I'm not running in blind. I know I often do that. Oh, let's work with our skill points a little bit. So, what we're definitely gonna want that tablet. So we can do that on the go. We're gonna want a warehouse. I mean, do I need a test drive yard? Allows you to take. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Paint room. Yes, we're gonna need that. Museum level 1, and let's get us that discount. There we go. Okay, cool. So that's all we need right now. There are 3 primary tools that we need. We don't need a grinder just yet. So mailbox, check for new emails. New start, yada yada yada. We found a tank. So what does this... Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, I remember the job. Okay, so... Oh, KV-1. Very nice. Old Soviet tank. Alright, so... The one cool thing with this game is, and this is another thing that drew me in, this is all World War II tanks. Though I honestly thought there'd be more in this game. So we're gonna want to go to the storage. Gonna look for that KV-1. Select all these, and outsource repairs. You know, now that I think about it, I wonder if I could have just repaired them myself instead of paying for the repairs. Hold on, how much is this job getting me? Let me see. Organize. 2,000, I spent, what, like, 30 bucks? I spent, say, 400. I'm getting 2,000, so I'm making 1,600 if my math is right. Not bad. Yep, as soon as these are done. Any day now. Let's see. These should be almost done. Son of a bitch. Okay. So, for anybody who's just starting off, and I'm going to let you guys know this because it took me the longest fucking time to figure this out. Yes, as per usual, I did not use the tutorial. I kind of ignored it. So for you to get this top piece off, because if you wanted to get into the gun breech and pretty much turret parts, you can't just climb on in. It doesn't work like that. So what you gotta do is you gotta walk over here, click this, and then your turret pops off. You can crawl under here and do whatever job you gotta do. This is actually pretty detailed. I honestly wasn't expecting as much put into this as they did. So I'm very impressed with it. Granted, I don't know a whole lot about tanks, but still, badass to be able to see the inside of these. I think our parts should be done. Yep, they're done. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna. Oh, we don't want to reset tools. We're gonna go. This is another thing I've learned. If you want to work on the tank itself, clicking middle mouse here doesn't do shit. You want to face the tank, middle mouse, and then assembly mode, and that's how you start putting parts on. Really annoying in my opinion, but that's just how the game is. And now our job's done. Tank's 100%. I'm gonna go back over here, organizer, and done. Cool. We can just delete that email because it's no longer needed. Let's work on that T-34. Alright, renovations needed. What kind of renovations do we need? Oh, by renovation you mean rebuild the whole fucking tank. Got it. Balls. Okay. Now, 2 things you could do here. You could do like how I did. Remove the parts and outsource repairs, which does cost you money, so honestly not worth it. This takes a lot longer, but yields better results. I'm just going to remove that rust. Now, unfortunately, being this is a simulator game, you do have to be a little meticulous. You can get a little lazy with it at times, but for the most part, you do have to go piece by piece. This is where that thing I showed you, where we could disassemble a tank, comes into play. So there's our engine. There's our turret. Now we can get into... Where the hell is my tool? Here it is. We got another job. I mean, I don't know how we're getting jobs so fast. I mean, we haven't even finished... What, we only did 2? There are that many tank tank mechanics or tank enthusiasts in the state that were just getting jobs left and right. I mean, granted, you do go to excavation sites to get tanks, so I don't even think we're in the United States. I don't think so. At least I can't even speak today. As per usual, got my ass up. Uh, you know, usual. I can't think. I can't think today. Typical congestion, dry throat. Yeah, usual bullshit. Is it? Oh, it fixed it. Huh. Okay, cool. So the game is a little bit forgiving, where it will take care of a number of parts altogether. Like this track and this wheel are two separate pieces, yet it did it together. So the game does have its forgiving moments. But you want to make sure you get at everything because when the game tells you, hey, you're only at 97%, you're like, what the fuck is wrong? Thankfully, you can pull up a list, and it does break down every aspect of the tank that you failed to notice. So, for example, pull up that tablet. No, no, not tablet. Tank status, analysis, and this tells you everything. So, we know it's the hole that needs to get fixed. Pretty much everything. Everything needs to get fixed. There's nothing here um, that's not fucked up. That's not fucked up. Now, thankfully, we can, if we have the money, just buy all of the missing pieces. So, say we're missing pretty much mostly the turret, the game will just pretty much auto buy everything for us, saying we have the money. I don't know if we don't have the money, if the game's going to be like, nope, sorry, you got to buy everything on your own, screw you. Honestly, don't know. But that is an option that we can use, and I found it to be very useful because going back and forth figuring out piece by piece, it gets kind of annoying. Now, again, sanding down your tank is definitely cheaper than, I was going to say buying parts, than outsourcing repairs, just because of the fact that you're doing all the work yourself. And it helps you save money when you're buying parts. So instead of spending, say, like 20 grand on a tank, you're only spending 10. At least half the job was you repairing it. So I think wait, the hole's not done. So what we want to do is we want to open that. Can we open up anything else on this? Yeah, that looks good. Where's my sander? That's just rust removal. Now, again, since I'm not I'm not a mechanic, I don't know much about these tools. I wonder exactly how this tool works itself, because if you look, it just looks like there's brushes on it. I'm kind of curious, like, how does this remove rust? Oh, come on. I think... Don't think there's anything else in here that we're missing. I think we got it. Oh, wait, nope. It's right here. Gotta take care of this. I think, as for rust removal, we are good. I don't think there's anything else. Actually, I'm a liar. I could see some of the springs in there. Yeah. Yeah, the bump spring. Alright. Now? Oh, wait, what about the other side? That spring's good. Ah, I see it in there. Got it. This fucking track is getting in the way. Actually, I could just remove the track. Oh yeah. Some tank treads work differently than others. So, for example, I've worked with, I believe, the Tiger, the German Tiger tank. Yeah, their tracks don't come off like the Soviet ones do. So, in this case where I had to pull a pin out and they kind of came apart, the German tank doesn't have that. Oh, there is one rusty part right there. I can see it. Damn it, I can't get to it. I gotta take this off. And that comes off. And back to rust removal. Yep, there we go. Yeah, tank's looking good now. I mean, it looks like a rusty piece of shit, but we're gonna fix it. So, now we gotta sand it down. As I said, the game is a little bit more forgiving, so you can kind of just hose down the whole tank and it kind of just does its thing. Thankfully, I don't have to hold down the mouse. This is a simple mechanic that a lot of sim games I've noticed don't do, where if you're trying to do a job like this, you have to actually hold your mouse, and over a period of time, it does kind of bother your hand after a while. So simply just pointing and aiming, rather than holding the mouse and aiming, it just makes it easier in my opinion. Alright, so we're going to get that all settled out. Now, hopefully we have time today, because I want to get to the part where you can excavate a tank. Am I saying that right? Excavate? Excavate? I often wonder if my grammar is correct. My first language is English, yet I still don't know how to speak it. Alright, so... Oh, and it's another email. So... Get around here. I do need to put those tracks on, so... What I plan to... do I... Thinking about it. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll just put on all the tracks I have on the other side, and then that way I know that this side that's incomplete. But then again, I think that part needs wheels. I might just disassemble this whole side track, put them on the other side, and then, that way it's all one coherent piece instead of jumping side to side. It's extra work, but it just keeps things more organized. Not necessary, but, like I said, just organized. Alright, so that's sanded. Let's get up top. Oh, we gotta take care of that MG. Also, one thing I've noticed too, and I will make mention of this when it comes time to it. When you're excavating tanks, the MGs are still inside the tank. And it yields very odd results. And I say that because as you're sitting there excavating the tank, you'll just see the MG, like as you're digging it up, you'll just see the MGs just sort of spazzing out, like it's, like it's alive, like it knows, hey, you get me out, let's go, get out of here, and you see the friggin' thing flopping around, trying to get out of the tank, and then once excavation is completed, the MG just magically pops where it belongs. That's one thing I've always loved about Sims, just the weird physics that occur. Okay, cool, so there's our tank, all nice and silver. Let's... Oh wait, we're not actually missing anything, so we don't need that back tread. Do we have a bomb tread? No, yes, actually we do. We do actually have a tread. No, we don't want to assemble. We want to disassemble. And I don't think, yeah, that part's not sanded. Alright, actually no, it's sanded. No, it's not sanded, I'm dumb. Ignore me. Yeah, so these parts are not sanded down. I'm missing a part there. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to put that front tread on. You know what? What am I missing over here? I'm gonna take this piece off. Screw it. Take the idler wheel. Am I dumb? Isn't an idle? Damn it, I need the bracket. And that's something else, this tank. Like I said, this job is literally me rebuilding this fucking tank. Cool, we have our bracket. We're gonna go back to assembly mode. That is a part that's not sanded down, so let's take care of that real quick. Make sure these treads are all nicey nice. Very good. Alright. I think the tank itself is good, or at the very least the hull. Let's go back to assembly mode, put this front track on. Right, we're not done with this track. Alright, so... Like I said, just for the sake of keeping organized, now this whole side is complete with the tracks. We don't need that now, we want to go for the paint. So, it's been... Now, I know this is the first thing that threw me off. Using the paint gun, you just see everything turning red. I mean, granted, it is a Russian tank, so red makes sense, communists. But this is to prime it. This pretty much just gets the metal good and ready for painting. Then you actually spray down the coat, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not, again, not really a handyman. Pretty much you do this, and then you can actually paint the damn thing. This is just a primer, just to make the metal more accepting of paint. Also is good because then if you don't, if the primer isn't working, you know where you messed up. The menu on the side is pretty much all of our stats, letting us know, hey, we're missing. I don't think paint is necessary for the tank. Like, I think that considering it's under extras, it's optional. But you can store tanks in your museum, which is a mechanic I'm still trying to figure out how that works, because one way you generate income, two things. You can either store tanks in your museum, and from there you can earn money from tickets, or ticket sales, I should say. Yep, see, like that, it's not working. Needs to get sanded down a little bit more. I thought I finished that. But yeah, you can earn income from your museum. I'm saying museum. I can't speak English. You earn money from your museum. Otherwise, you can renovate tanks and then sell them. I've noticed that selling tanks seems to generate a lot more income than museum, though I think it's just because I only had one tank at the time. I think I sold... It's an American tank, I can't remember. I don't remember which one. The Pershing, I think it was called? Is that it? I don't remember, I gotta look. But I sold it, I think I ended up spending like 20 grand on it in the game, and I sold it for 40, so... Yeah, you do make a hell of a lot more money selling tanks than you do running the museum. But I think also part of that was because of the fact that my museum only had one tank in it. That, or maybe somehow I was an idiot, and I didn't open the museum. Either way, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing with that part. So I'm going to try to figure that out. Certain parts of the tank are just simply not going to paint because it's interior and no one's going to look at it. Like this part will paint because, this is kind of where the crew hangs out. That is a part that needs to get sanded. Fuck. Okay, so we're gonna... Ain't that, we're just gonna drop that right there. And we need our little handy-dandy sander tool. I think I'm still crouched. Yes, I am. That's one thing that's weird with this game with me. One skill that you can get is... Oh, damn it, so I need rust removal. Son of a bitch. Where's the tool? Can I use the force? Damn it. Sometimes, if you're close enough, you can kind of use the force and grab this. So we're going to remove that rust. We're going to take our little sander. And now we paint. But yeah, it's one of the skills that you can get in this game is being able to run faster. You're not really running from anything. There's no need to have a skill like that, in my opinion. Our character runs plenty fast as it is. I mean, I don't know where the hell we're trying to get to that we need to spend skill points to run from A to B. Our character does not need to be an Olympic runner. So now we're actually just painting it. I think this is pretty much just painting it as a generic coat. Like, this is just what the tank used to look like, and you're allowed to paint it from there. You can give it skins, like, not skins, like camouflage. You can paint it up to look like a snow tank. Snow tank? Or snow camo, I mean. You can put stickers on it. Pretty much you can make it as close to the original tanks as you want. Or you can just make it weird and something that you would probably see in Fortnite for some reason. That's all up to you. I also don't think it affects your museum's ratings or affects how much money you generate based on the paint job. I am one of those people that likes things the way they are, so considering that, if this is what the tank is supposed to look like, I like leaving it as such. Just to preserve that, I guess, history. Because, I don't think the Soviet Union was rolling around with pink tanks with hot red flames all over the side and, stickers on it that would say things like "get nerfed" or anything like that. I don't think the Soviets were fighting Germans like that. I don't think so. Um, as I said, this game does include, World War II, or it's all World War II tanks. So you got tanks from Germany, from the Soviet Union, from the United States. Honestly though, I'm a little disappointed because I feel like, and I could be wrong about this, but no, actually, no, I'm right. There were a lot more tanks in the war than the game offers. I don't know if they plan on adding that as DLC. I don't know if they plan on updating later on. I said later on twice. I don't know what they plan to do with this game. This game is no long. This game is not in early access. It was never in early access. This game is not in early access, so there's no need for any finishing touches per se. Bug fixes, of course. This game is not without its share of bugs. Can I shoot through this? Yes, I can. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, this game's not without its share of bugs. Uh, so we're all painted. Very nice. So bug fixes are a definite need. As for the game itself, like content, I don't think they're going to add any more content. I don't think there's any necessity. I mean, necessity, no. Desire, yes. I would love to have, other tanks from other nations during the war. British, Italian, pretty much anybody. I'm having a major mental block right now, so I know I'm probably gonna have someone on my ass being like, it wasn't just the United States in the war. Like, yeah, I know. Um, I'm just having a major mental block right now. You do 2 morning shifts in a row, and then you go to bed late. Your brain is just like, what the fuck are you doing with me? This is a paint gun. We don't need that. We need to sand it. Where's my sander? Now, again, certain parts you do not need to paint. Just because, again, no one's ever going to see it, so what's the point in painting a part that you're not going to ever see? I'm going to keep on spraying. We should be good. I think we're just missing parts on the engine, but other than that, I think we're good. So we're going to reset our tools, get back our rust removal, and we're going to mess with the turret. But yes, at this moment in time, there's only Soviet, American, and German tanks to my knowledge. I don't believe they've added any other tanks yet. Again, they might just add them as DLC. Honestly, it would annoy me a little bit, considering that there's not a lot you can do with the tanks. I mean, you can display them on the museum, you can drive them around, you can shoot the turret, but there's no like combat in it or anything like that. You're not a wartime mechanic. You're not at a base repairing tanks to help fight for freedom or anything like that. You're building, you're just a tank enthusiast who's finding all old war-torn tanks and refurbishing them to look as they did back during back during the war. I was gonna say back during day one. I mean, that technically it's correct too, but I digress. This is still a fun game nonetheless. I mean, I don't know if I would say fun, but definitely interesting, just for the fact that it's like, if you ever need a game that you just want to hang and chill and just kind of work at your own pace, give yourself that sense of, hey, I did something. Maybe you had a shitty day at work and you just want to chill. This game is good for that. That's why I often don't mind simulator games. While, yes, they get repetitive and it's the same thing over and over again. I mean, isn't that life? Just repetition. Same thing day in, day out. But we don't mind that. I mean, I don't mind sim games. Though that's also why I have my war game, so when I'm all pissed off from work, I can just go in and shoot a few kids in Pavlov, hop onto Onward and shoot some other kid. Yeah, usual shit. I do, in fact, need the rust removal. Why'd I put it all the way over here? Like, oh, I needed the other tool. Let me be smart. I'm gonna just dump these here. I will say this comparatively, what I know from the Soviet and the German tanks that I've built so far, the Soviet tanks are much more condensed. Like everything's like I don't know if it's just because I'm missing stuff. I don't know if the Soviet. Oh wait, nope. This is paint. There we go, primer. I don't know if the Soviets just were more. I'm trying to think of the word. I don't know if the Soviets were trying to cheap out on their tanks, while the Germans were going more of a quality over quantity deal. There's a lot to German tanks versus that of the American and Soviets. Like this, there's virtually nothing in its turret. It's just pretty much a couple seats and that's it. The German tank, it's almost like they friggin' built a house in it. So they did so Germans put a hell of a lot into their tanks. Was it necessary? Probably not. And I mean, considering the end result of the war, yeah, they went a little overkill, perhaps. But that doesn't make them any less deadly. Though perhaps the result of the war did show quality over quantity did win. Or no, other way around. Quantity over quality. No, oh, yes. Oh, that's another thing too. If you can't tell if you're missing parts, you just hit E and everything turns green. And it kind of just highlights. So if there's any white pieces white outlines, I'll show you what you're missing. I don't know if we're going to see it in here, but that pretty much just lets you know, hey, this is what you're missing. Which is a really nice little feature. And again, that's why I like this game. It's simple, it's easy to pick up. There is a little bit of a learning curve. But it's nothing crazy. So we're almost just about done with this tank. Cool. I think... Don't know what we're missing on paint, but... Let's reset our tools. Status. Analysis. Why missing parts. Sure. Then we're going to go to assembly mode. And we're going to put together what we're missing. That's another weird thing too. A lot of these bigger wheels, again on the Tiger that I worked on, I think it was a Tiger. On the Tiger that I worked on, you needed to bolt them on. These tires, these wheels, they just pop right on. There's no bolting. I don't know if that's historically accurate. I don't think it's historically accurate. That's another thing with this kind of game too. I wonder to the extent of its historical accuracy. Actually, let's see if we can see any missing parts. I don't think we're missing anything. Oh, yep, we're missing an ammunition box. Damn, they really stored up their ammo, didn't they? Actually, I'm curious. Hold on a second. I think I actually completed this job, and I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. I didn't need to buy all those parts. And now my character should... Yep, there you go. And there we go. That's it. That's how you renovated tank for a job. Now, actually, it was a T-34. I guess the game just... What part was that? Huh. Okay. Okay, so it wasn't T-34. What about the KV? No? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if... Because I bought all those parts, I wasn't sure if it, like, hey, you know, you need to spend money. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go for it now. We're going to renovate now, and then I'll end it there. So now we're going to go to Organizer. Or Extraction. Alright, cool. Oh, it's right there. So yeah, I know I said I was going to just end it after I finished renovating, but I kind of realized, you know, I have some editing I got to knock out. That would shave down time, and I always try to get my videos as close to 30 minutes as possible. Now, for those of you, as I said, just starting off with this game, not knowing what to do, this circle is where our tank should be. Use your metal detector, and you kind of just got to walk around. See where your tank is at. I always try to kind of thoroughly search these squares. If you look on the map. Alright, nothing over here. But yeah, I'm like 95% certain we're in like maybe Eastern or Western Europe. I mean, you're definitely somewhere in between Europe and Russia because, you know, again, that's where most of these tanks were found. Um, uh, Nothing here. No, nothing. Not gonna be on the road. I'll be shocked if I have to dig up the road. Besides, I don't think anybody would appreciate me digging up the road. Not that I really give a shit, but alright, nothing over here. Nothing over here. Now, yes, while this is a simulator game, that little meter will start going nuts once you find something. So, for the longest time, I thought it was honestly just gonna stay still and it was gonna make a noise that you had to pay attention to. I do play this game with its audio being lower. So that being said, I do often have times where hearing things in this game could be hard. Thankfully, like I said, it will visually show you, hey, you're on something. Oh, yep. There you go. Oh, no. No, it's gonna be right there. Where's our Jeep? Now, I could shovel. I could dig up the tank. I was gonna say shovel it up. I could dig up the tank myself. Um, Drive over there so that way our tools are right next to us while we dig. So we're gonna want to just get closer to the dig site just to make life easier. Okay, so we're gonna take the shovel. And where is that little flag? Okay, seriously, where the hell did I put it? Alright, am I stupid? I mean, it says it's right here, but I can't... Alright, fuck it. We're just gonna... Alright, I'm gonna say... Oh, there it is. Hello. Alright. So, the game says we found a tank. But now, I'm curious. What did we find? Now, don't let that icon fool you. It just is a generic icon indicating that there is a tank there. It does not indicate what tank. So, this could be American, this could be Soviet, this could be German. You don't know until you've dug it up. By the way this turret is looking, I'm gonna guess and say German. I'm gonna think it's another Tiger. Maybe? The thing that's setting me off is this top hatch right there. That's what's making me think it's a German. Because I don't recall any Soviet tank having that extra little bump to lift up the hatch. I don't even think any American tank had that. Yep, nope, this is German. Definitely the way this, yeah, definitely German. Now, like I said, you can dig it up yourself, or you can hire someone to do it. If you hire somebody else to do it, it ultimately results in you paying money. I tried to dig it up myself, just for the sake of saving money. So that way I can focus on renovating. I can use it for my museum. I mean, we do have 25 grand, so if I even just dig it up halfway, then it saves me money. So we're gonna just go ahead. Damn, this fucking turret's long. Okay. Oh, yeah. Definitely German. Alright. so I think that should be good. I'll probably just pay to excavate the rest if it comes down to it. It is what it is. So then we're gonna get our little tablet. We're gonna go here. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. So one problem with this game is it doesn't like you having your Jeep, your old freaking dinosaur World War II Jeep, out in the middle of the site, unfortunately. Despite the fact that we're not next to the tank or anything like that. You gotta be at least a tile or two away for it to take. As annoying as that is. We're gonna go here. Are you get the fuck out of here. Okay. Okay. Come on. Come on. There you go. Also, you guys want to see something freaky? Look, it's a ghost tank. It's a ghost Jeep. No one's driving it. Truth be told, we're ghosts from World War II rebuilding our tanks. Ah. I'm just being stupid. Yeah, the developers clearly didn't put a model in. I always found that kind of shit to be funny. Oh, wow. We actually got to repair for the dig for free. We found something. Really? No shit. You found something? I didn't think so. I didn't know you found... Did we find something? I didn't know we found something. Holy shit, we found something. Alright, and now we gotta pump out mud. I think that's another thing, too. If you dig it up yourself, I don't think there's ever any mud. I've noticed that if I hire someone to dig it up, then there's always mud. If I dig it up myself, there's never any mud. So that's why I'm like, I think if you do it all the work yourself, there's no mud. I guess just the way they do it. But now we have to clean our tank. Now, again, I could hire someone to clean it up. But I simply choose not to because it saves more money. At the end of the day, you want to save as much money as possible so you can focus on your renovations, so you can use your tanks to make you money. Whether that means selling the tanks, whether it means keeping them for the museum, whatever the hell you desire. Alright, that should be good. Yeah. Okay, shut up. Now if I go here, middle mouse, we're going to hang on trailer. Alright, well there you go. There is our tank. It's the... I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm an idiot. I also don't want to attempt to pronounce that so that way someone doesn't get pissed off at me. But there's your German tank. I'm pretty certain this one was referred to as the King Tiger. Though, again, I'm simply going off memory. I could be wrong. But yeah, so next episode I intend on us working on this tank, renovating it to max. I'm hoping if we have enough money, we can keep it, go on to another excavation site, and get us another tank to keep, or at the very least sell it. But that's where I'm going to leave it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you like it, leave a like. If you dislike it, dislike it. Leave comments. I want to know what you guys are thinking. See you around in the next one. Have a good one.